Batman is a character who is famous for not having a family. You know, cause of the whole his parents bit the big one when he was a child, leaving him an orphan thing. And yet, some of the most interesting and beloved characters within DC's stable of comic heroes are members of his chosen family, of the unofficial team known as the Bat Family. And since I need to rank things at least once every other day or else I start to get the shakes, see that? I'm not doing that. That's just what happens when I don't rank things that often. It's really not ideal. I figured that now might be a good time to actually go through and rank all of the different members of the Batman family by their power level. Because, you know, there was like a movie that came out or whatever. So while this won't be a breakdown of every single Bat family member, which is actually good because there are a lot of them, these are the ones you don't want to run into in a dark alley. Unless you are in need of saving, that is. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let's start this list off proper with one of the few characters who is themed around an animal that isn't either a bat or a bird. Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, may be a character who will never truly escape her past as a member of Batman's Rogues Gallery, but her time serving as a frequent ally and love interest of Bruce Wayne has made her a valuable member of the Bat family. And despite her not having the same level of ninja training that a lot of the other key members have, nor the genius level intellect, her combat prowess is still top tier. And I mean that. In the past, she's beaten people such as Talia al Ghul, you know, master assassin and heir to Ra's al Ghul's entire legacy. So yeah, that's just kind of sort of a big deal. She is a fantastic fighter. Even when she can't remember anything, she can still rely on her muscle memory to perform complex acrobatic fighting moves and kick some serious butt. On top of that, she also possesses the requisite skills that one would need to have to qualify as a master thief. Stealth, disguises, even a little bit of seduction. Catwoman has got it all covered. So yeah, while she might not be the most powerful member of the Bat family by a country mile, she's definitely someone that you don't really want to mess with. Especially because out of all of the other members of the Bat family, she probably has the loosest morals. So that means she probably won't hesitate to kill ya if you really piss her off. She'll just feel bad about it later. In this spot is Bat Cow. Heck yeah, Bat Cow! Bat Cow is yellow. Okay. So, apparently I'm not allowed to include Bat Cow because he's a cow, which I think is just a little bit speciesist, but okay. So, I guess instead let's talk about Damian Wayne? Maybe? Yeah, let's go with that. Now, some people are quick to dismiss Damian as just a kid, or just another Robin, saying that there isn't really anything all that special to talk about in regards to him. Well, I got news for you. Damian is a powerhouse of a character, and given enough time, he might become the most powerful Robin we've ever seen. Heck, if you give him enough time, he could probably even become a better Batman than Bruce, which is saying a lot. Damian has the benefit of being raised and trained by two masters of martial arts. His mother, Talia al Ghul, taught him the ways of the master assassins, and Bruce Wayne, his father, of course trained him as a Robin. This has granted him not only crazy high combat efficiency, but also a ton of extra skills that could come in handy as a vigilante, including computer hacking, master level detective skills, and even archery, with some going so far as saying that he is a better shot with a bow and arrow than Green Arrow. You know, the guy whose entire thing is being a good shot with a bow and arrow. He also knows at least one magic spell, as seen when he conjured magical chains to bind Gotham Girl one time. Not sure if he knows any more than that, but hey, even one is pretty cool and could come in handy in a scrap. That being said, he isn't a cow, which costs him at least a few points in my book. You just gotta love some good old-fashioned bovine justice. So yeah, he might just be an admittedly incredibly arrogant child right now, but just you wait. I'm sure that if he can ever escape the curse that is the status quo of comics, he'll grow into quite the hero in his own right. And when it comes time for him to take up the cape and cowl himself, he'll probably prove to be more than capable of the job. You know, provided that this weird infection doesn't wipe out all of Gotham, but that's not gonna happen. What do you do when you take someone with genius level intellect, a knack for mechanical engineering, and the drive to become a superhero? You get Iron Man. And Batwing. You do also get Batwing. The Batwing suit is really the star of the show here, not necessarily any one wearer, of which there have been two, by the way. This technological marvel is no joke, and honestly, the Iron Man comparison is a fairly apt one. Both versions of the suit, worn by David Zavimbe and Lucas Fox respectively, are heavily armored affairs, and each of them come with some pretty fancy tech. The first version, for example, is capable of self-sustained flight via a built-in jetpack. The second one wasn't capable of flying on its own, instead utilizing similar glider tech that other members of the Bat family use as well. However, it makes up for this in plenty of other ways. For example, it has interior sensors and systems that can monitor its wearer's vital signs and administer medical treatment whenever necessary, such as splinting a broken bone or injecting its wearer with pain medication. It also has a detective vision mode built into the faceplate, which allows the users to see things in infrared. Couple all of that with their built-in arsenal of weaponry, with everything from smoke bombs to flashbangs to electrical shock charges. Put that all together and you've got a pretty potent instrument of heroism. Now, when you take into consideration the users of said suits, suddenly, you've got a powerful vigilante. Lucas Fox, for example, is a straight-up genius, which is kind of to be expected, I guess, given the fact that his dear old dad is Lucius Fox. And he's also a world-class boxer, which has to count for something when your job is literally beating up bad guys. So while he might not be the most well-known member of the Bat family, especially among some of the more casual members of the fan base, he's still a character that you should keep in mind and definitely look into. Basically, Batwing is someone that you just shouldn't sleep on. Or in. You probably shouldn't sleep in that suit. It just looks very uncomfortable all around. You know, it's all metal and there's plates everywhere and there's a lot of pointy things on that. Don't sleep on it, don't sleep in it, don't sleep near it, definitely don't commit crimes around it. Just doesn't seem like a great idea. I feel like if I didn't include Dick Grayson on this list somewhere, at least half of you down in the comments would be calling for me to be strung up by my toenails and tarred and feathered. Having him in the upper echelons of the Bat family makes sense. As the first person to join up with Bruce Wayne back when he was serving as the first Robin, he has the most experience out of pretty much any of them. Except for Batman, that is. And that experience has made him a master of martial arts, stealth, and pretty much every other skill that Batman is known for. Which is good, because Grayson did spend a little bit of time wearing the cape and cowl as Batman himself in the comics. Actually, it was a surprisingly long time. So basically what I'm saying is that he's pretty dang good at what he does, and his skills are only further amplified by his gear. Nightwing's suit comes with all the gizmos and gadgets that one would expect of a tech-based vigilante. His mask grants him different vision modes, allowing him to see in the dark, for example. His suit is also wired to function like one giant taser, allowing him to strike someone with around 150,000 volts. Admittedly, he can only actually do that once, but still, it's a pretty useful thing to be able to pull out when you need it. And his gauntlets can fire out frickin' bombs, which just seems a little bit excessive, but whatever. Sometimes you gotta take down a wall, or a really big bad guy. But no guns though, because we can't kill. Because bombs definitely don't do that. But all of that is just scratching the surface of what he has on his proverbial, or rather, I guess, literal utility belt, because he actually does wear one. Oh yeah, and during his time as an agent of Spiral, he was implanted with some more tech that does cool stuff, like emitting a digital signal that scrambles his face on security cameras and that sort of stuff. However, after he left Spiral, the implants got turned off, so they really probably shouldn't count. However, with all of the tech wizards within the Bat family, surely someone at some point is gonna figure out a way to safely turn them back on. Because you can't tell me that not being able to be seen by security cameras isn't going to come in handy for someone trying to hide their identity. All in all, there is a reason why Dick Grayson is one of the most beloved members amongst fans. The dude is just straight up really, really good at what he does. Also, the Nightwing suit is really cool. It's especially cool compared to what he wore as Robin, which, it's not great. It's classic, but not great. Duke Thomas, aka the Signal, is kind of an interesting anomaly in regards to the Bat family. When you think of Batman-related heroes, you usually envision someone wearing all black, skulking around at night, and attacking out of the shadows. Oh, the Signal does pretty much none of those. He wears a costume with a bright yellow color scheme, and he is the only member of the family that operates primarily during the day, serving as the daytime defender of Gotham. So okay, that is at least a little bit weird, but how does he handle things in a fight? As far as how he stacks up against the rest of the family, he's inexperienced and would probably lose in a one-on-one fight against pretty much any of them. If that's the case, then you're probably wondering why he's this high up on this list. And it's fairly simple, really. Unlike pretty much anyone else in the Bat family, Signal is a meta-human. And no, I'm not counting Clayface. Yes, I know he was a part of the family at one point, but he's not anymore, so he doesn't count. Plus, I mean, come on, it's Clayface. Signal possesses something called photokinesis, which means that he can manipulate and process light, granting him a bunch of abilities, such as the power to sense where light has been, which is a fancy way of saying that he can see movement that occurred a few minutes in the past, which caused shadows and such to shift. Somehow he can also use this same ability to see where light is going to be, allowing him to effectively look forward in time, which is potentially crazy overpowered if used properly. After an encounter with Ishmael, Signal also gained the ability to manipulate shadows as well, including generating shadows, which definitely comes in handy, especially given the family's penchant for darkness. So I guess Signal is sitting this high up in the ranking not necessarily because of what he's already achieved in the comics, but rather the potential for what he can become, what he could do in the future. So perhaps someday we'll get the chance to see him properly rise up and become the total powerhouse that we all know he can be. Maybe. Odds are you probably didn't expect to see Cassandra Cain at the top of this list. On a list ranking members of the Bat family by power level, of course Bruce Wayne belongs at the #1 spot. That really isn't open for debate. It's for that very reason that I chose to just completely exclude him from this list. Like, everyone knew that Batman was gonna be the most powerful member of the Bat family. No crap, dude. So, you know, to mix things up and keep them interesting, I just didn't include him. If it makes you feel any better, just go ahead and pretend that I said that he was ranked at number 0, because honestly, he would be at the top of the list, so if he's not number 1, he's gonna be number 0. That'd be about where he would fit. Because he's Batman. Anyways, Cassandra Cain is one of a small handful of characters who has operated under the mantle of Batgirl, though she has also used the moniker of Orphan on a few occasions. Power level wise, she is pretty much on par with most of your standard members of the Bat family. She is incredibly smart, agile, and in peak physical condition. In addition to that, her upbringing as the daughter of a master assassin granted her extraordinary combat skills, only further enhanced by her training alongside the other members of the family. And when I say that this girl can kick some serious butt, I really mean it. Her combat prowess is solely the reason that she ranks at the top of this list, which, considering that there are some people on this list who are amazing martial artists, that is definitely saying something. Sure, she might not have meta-human abilities like Signal, or the sheer amount of experience of someone like Catwoman or Nightwing. However, she has shown that she is capable of taking on any of the other Bat family members in a fistfight if necessary. And when you're talking about an entire group of people who are basically ninjas, being able to beat them all is definitely not nothing. Oh, and she's also capable of detecting the smell of cyanide, which isn't like a huge deal or anything. There are actual people that can do that, but it's not exactly the most common thing in the world, so, you know, that's sort of cool. I gotta say, it was incredibly hard to rank the Bat family. All of them are on pretty even levels. So this is the sort of situation where I want to throw it to you guys. Go ahead and jump down into the comments and let me know how you would rank them. I'll even spend a little bit of time down there after this video is released and, you know, heck, maybe you'll be able to sway my opinion on them. Personally, I think it's always a fun time down in those comments. Hey there everybody, I'm John Algitz. I made this video and I want to know what you think. How would you rank the Bat family members? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or go ahead and shoot me a response over on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to CBR for more great videos just like this in the future.